Hello my goddesses, today's video is about my latest blog post called I absolutely love my crazy, sexy, beautiful single life and why you should too. If you like this video, please subscribe, and also if you'd like more information about me, my mentoring, or any of my other blog posts, please go to www.thegoddessprinciples.net /blog if you'd like to read, or click the contact form if you'd like to send me a question. But getting back to the video, my blog post this morning was really inspired by the media and the stories I'm reading about how the media perceives young single women today. It paints a very negative portrait, almost a very sad portrait that I completely disagree with, because being surrounded by young professional women, I see that the reality is quite the opposite of how the media portrays us. We are not depressed, we're not sad and lonely, we're not spinsters. In fact, we're doing very, very well. Our incomes are rising, we're treating ourselves very well, we're traveling the world. We're in fact living exceptionally, much better than our mothers did. And so I wanted to dispel the notion of young single woman living in the city without a husband. I think it's very, very wrong and very disempowering for women to believe in the concept. Also, it's not a secret that I personally absolutely love being single. I love the freedom of being single. I love the process of self-discovery. I love discovering who I am as a person. That's not just because I'm single, it's not to say that I'm lonely. As a matter of fact, I'm dating more than ever, much, much more than ever. I've discovered that there's no shortage of men. There's absolutely no shortage of men who are young or in my age group, men who are absolutely willing to worship me and treat me really well. As a matter of fact, there's an overabundance of single men out there, contrary to how the media paints this picture. So that's what I wanted to talk about today in the latest blog posts and videos, is really about how the media puts out so much garbage, and I really personally don't know who this serves, because I see a lot of women who read this stuff and believe in it, and in fact become very sick from it or depressed from it, and alter their lifestyles or tend to not appreciate themselves and who they are as human beings simply because they believe that they have failed. The media says that, women today are highly educated, probably overeducated. They've devoted their lives to their careers, and as a result, they cannot meet men who are as qualified as they are, men in the same income bracket. And now these women are facing loneliness, spinsterhood, killing themselves because they have let their biological clocks tick out or expire, and that's just simply not true. So looking at myself and looking at the lives of most of my friends, clients, and women in my community, I see that the reality is quite the opposite. We are not sad, we're not lonely, we live quite beautifully. As a matter of fact, our educations, our money have empowered us to go out there and see the world on our own, or join groups of people to see the world with. We partake in experiences that our parents, especially our mothers, would never have had an opportunity to experience. As far as men and dating are concerned, we are absolutely empowered. Money and careers have put us on equal footing with men. And contrary to popular belief, we actually are much more attractive to men, especially men our own age, because we can afford to contribute to the same lifestyle and to the household as much as they can. Having the opportunity to manage our own lives and to explore the world on our own has made us even more worldly, more empowered, more knowing of who we are as people, knowing of what we want out of life, and much, much more discerning. And I think this is all a very, very good thing. You know, the media portrays us as being restless and not knowing what we want, and not being able to feel satisfied. And in fact, you know, many of us, I see, we're living in a candy store. My life is a candy store. It's full of travel to exotic location. It's full of amazing experiences. It's full of men dating, romantic adventures. It's a far cry from how the media and a lot of bloggers out there portray single women. And I see also that a lot of, you know, one of the things that I would advise women to do, especially if they're struggling with this idea, is to simply just shut off your TV, especially stop reading newspapers, media that are written by people who are just out of touch with the reality of what it means to be a woman today. A lot of these articles are being written by the older generation, who itself is very dissatisfied. Older men who find themselves at the short end of the stick, dating stick, you know, and they find themselves divorced at 60, 70, and now they all believe that they're entitled to young, gorgeous women, when in fact those women don't necessarily want them, or not really even attracted to them. So I'm not really sure who benefits from this negative media or negative portrayal of women, but I really wanted to reach out to women out there who are questioning their life choices, and, you know, perhaps wondering, you know, well, is marriage an option? Is it a right choice? Or perhaps even suffering because they haven't met that Prince Charming. They don't have a home behind a white picket fence. They don't have a baby. And now they see themselves as some sort of loser from life, when in fact you absolutely are a winner. My suggestion is just don't buy into this garbage and shut yourself off from media. There are many, many wonderful outlets for women like us. There are communities, there are women's empowerment networks. I joined a wonderful one on Facebook, through which I have met a lot of wild, adventuresome women who are thriving. They absolutely love being single, and they're very, very inspiring. It's called Girls Love Travel. Just go to Facebook and type that name into the search box. You will find them. It's a group for women only, but they're very, you know, some of them are very young. Some of them, they're in fact of all ages. But they live life fearlessly. They travel the world on their own. They're not afraid to have new experiences. They're very blunt. They share their experiences very openly online. And a lot of times, you know, I refer my mentoring clients to that group because, you know, a lot of my clients are a little bit older and struggling with finding themselves after divorce, or reinventing their careers later in life. And I always want to show them what it means to be a happy, thriving, adventuresome woman. It's not how you read in the newspapers. It's, you know, we're surrounded by a lot of women who are educated, worldly, have a lot of disposable income. The world is our oyster. We're making our own rules. We're living shamelessly. Clearly, a lot of people have a problem with that. And, you know, I think we're just shaking up the world's perception of what it means to be a woman. We're defining ourselves rather than letting textbooks and experts define what's the proper behavior or lifestyle for a woman. So what if we're rejecting tradition? So what if we're rejecting marriage? It isn't for all of us. In fact, I discovered it isn't quite for me. After leaving a 15-year amazing marriage, I discovered my dating life and my romantic life is 1,000 times better now. I really love all my adventures. I call them adventures because really that's what they are. I explore. I'm not afraid to meet new people. I'm not afraid to break up. It really isn't such a difficult experiences because I've learned that in life there's always more. And you will always have more as long as you respect yourself and have a very healthy attitude about yourself. But that means being aligned with who you are as a person, recognizing that inner goddess, being in touch with her at all times, and making no apologies for who you are, making no apologies for your lifestyle. Anyway, if you'd like to read more about the blog, please go to my website, www.thegoddessprinciples.net/blog. And this one is called Why I Absolutely Love My Sexy, Crazy Single Life. Please subscribe if you like this video and send me your comments. I'd love to hear from you, and perhaps post one of your comments or answer one of your questions on video. Have a great day. Bye.